Hey guys, Ponce here on the PBE, here to talk to you guys about some potential Bard buffs. So as I usually do, you can see the buffs above my head somewhere. Just ignore the explosions you hear in the background. But the notepad right up there, the Cosmic Binding, his Q has been buffed in terms of its base damage. And Magical Journey has been buffed in the sense that its cooldown has been lowered all across the board for every single rank. Now notice Cosmic Binding, it gets the largest buff at rank 1, and it's still buffed to the max rank, but just not as much, which is an interesting sort of thing they've done because generally speaking, or basically always, E is the thing you max last. It's sort of the 1-point wonder skill. So the biggest buff, the 6-second cooldown reduction on it, is going to last through a lot of the game. So it's a thing there. Now in terms of Bard balance overall and sort of my thoughts on that, these buffs don't really surprise me. They'll probably end up sticking. And Bard's sort of an interesting champion in the sense that I don't think he's bad necessarily, but he does need buffs. Now, why would I say something like that? Well, it's weird again because it's tough to sort of phrase it, but he's basically a bad solo queue champion, but not a bad champion, if that makes any sense. Like, his kit is quite good and interesting, and it can work really well in very specific sorts of scenarios and sort of with good team coordination and all that stuff. But the problem is he has very, very little hard carry potential. I've mentioned this in the past in some of my videos and streams and stuff, but I mean, this is to an extent a general support problem as well. But Bard seems to suffer from this more than most, just because he just doesn't deal any damage, and he doesn't have like raw, right in the middle of the team fight sort of hard impact. Sort of something that sort of changes the tide of a fight immediately with very little skill involved. And again, as I mentioned, he's got no damage, so I don't know. That sort of begs the question: do all champions need to be tuned around the fact that they can hard carry in solo queue? Probably not. It sort of leads to these somewhat unsatisfying cases where Bard adds a very kind of interesting element to the game, and I appreciate that he exists. But then you have to ask yourself the question: when is he going to get picked? So I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see like if the pro teams can do anything interesting with him. Like I said, he's got a really weird and unusual kit, which I think has a lot of potential, and I think you can do a lot of really cool things with it. But yeah, just for the purpose of solo queue, I don't know. It's not something I would personally play, even though I think he's a lot of fun and has a good kit. Now, actually, as the title will probably end up indicating, I also did a while ago a guide for Bard on the website LolPro. I did one of their pro guides or whatever, and I'm being disconnected right now. But I'll link to that in the description below. I sort of go over my thoughts about Bard in actually quite extensive detail, as I usually do. I put a lot of effort into the actual text, writing stuff about Bard. So if you guys want to check that out, that's also in the description below. Like I said, I wrote this a while ago and I kind of forgot to mention it at the time. But yeah, alright. Anyway, that's it for now. My thoughts on Bard. And if you want to know more, go check out the guide. I'll see you guys around. Thanks for watching.